Oh, thank you. You definitely got us hyped up. You know, Trent might be on some high cap, but I think there's another layer to this, okay? I've theory crafted it. I worked it out. I stayed up all night thinking about this, right? So we were discussing in the background while the panel will round up their thoughts. You thought Alliance's drafting was a little bit eccentric, should we choose the word?
I just thought it's draw range. I mean, sure you can get some eggs, and at some point you can. Kind of difficult, and you know, it's like they have this very heavy single target lineup. They're kind of relying on Limp to have a very good lane. Desperately need the eggs on puck this game, and potentially even the eggs on Drow. So I feel like a lot of things just have to go right for them. Like they need to kind of snowball. Definitely not impossible. It's just not that easy. Lina is a strong lane. CK has decent armor early on. You have a way of getting on top of the hero. Obviously being strong and bench, not so much. Then they got the NGPL. So I mean, it's like one option is to kind of leave the Bloodseeker on this island and try to just mess with these. You know, kind of an option, but
Creeps is a good one as well.
Yeah, I mean, hitting creeps is okay. I feel like CK is one of those here. If you want to be hitting creeps a little bit, then after that you kind of become a sort of more of a killer. I feel like that's kind of his role.
The battle begins.
Yeah, it's the way Toby likes to play a lot of time. They try to get his lane off to a good start when he plays his CK, and then he just hunts the bully of the game, and it might bully FNG here. Toby's thinking about it. The Pro Chaos ball out, the right click should be enough to bring down FNG first. Even if Toby falls, they'll feel happy with this trade.
Yeah, they definitely should. I mean, there were 4 heroes here. They managed to get the first blood. They will some of Limp's mana. He has the almost half mana, and pretty happy with this.
They also didn't pick up the runes. Like, they were standing on that high ground, but they had to rush over so quickly, they didn't even wait around for the runes. That's still sitting there.
I mean, it's kind of unlikely that the Boom actually... But if he gets to his bottle and he somehow finds himself in that area, then find it.
Yeah, but like it's the fact that Viking should likely get that bounty, right? Once one of the offlaners just backs up, they'll pick it up. Whereas it'd be a much harder ordeal for FNG to try and sneak that route now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Alliance are getting. More like I feel like it's very unlikely that it just goes.
And speaking of this bot lane FNG, he's going to have to babysit this Drow for a very long time, right? Like the double stun against this Drow, it can be very easy to pick off Nikobaby in this bot lane.
Yeah, you have to be very careful. Once they get level 2. You know, it's... has to watch quite closely.
Yeah, she's getting close to that. This is the thing as well. It's not exactly the most expensive stun. He just overstep, but not enough to punish. One top line S4 is just trying to get his hands on the creep for a Courier, but he'll get neither. Celery is going to pressure him away. And of course, Tusk is off doing things while they actually do get the Drow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's the level 2 immediately. Done with some cooldown. They got their level 2 steps forward. And I mean, this is very easy to make happen. You need to be weak.
If they're not picking off you, they could easily pick off FNG. And I guess in these early levels of the Drow, you don't really have the damage to put a dent in the CK while he's killing your support.
Limp is having a very good time mid though. He's putting in some harassment. And I have his ball.
Although, you know, Boom, he's keeping even. It's not like there's a clear definitive win. It is a few denies up, mind you, but it should be easier for Boom to just sneak off and maybe farm a few camps in between the waves, right?
Yeah, I mean, now he's got his bottle. Managed just to find. No, you just get some points into the static remnant. Find yourself in.
In terms of gank and potential, I'd say they're about even, right? Like a Puck and a Storm with how much more mobile Storm feels these days could rotate around the same point of the game.
Yeah, I think for kind of the, you know, until you get your probably not gonna all that much, but after he gets...
You say that. We've seen what happens when Storm finds a glorious rune, right? That's going to be the big catch. Both of these heroes use runes very well to just rotate on those Dow lanes.
No, for sure. I mean, if you find yourself with a haste, double damage.
They just love how those runes definitively decide the outcome of the mid so often.
I'm so happy that they added arcane.
Are fortified.
Like it's a very nice addition. They are gonna fully kind of limp out of this bottom rune, so but he's gonna get the orb. He's gonna get the top rune.
Looks like it. He's got the salve, which should be cancelled by Boom. Oh, nice dodge out. Not able to stay in range for the second hit, so it works out nicely for Limp. And there were no supports from Alliance Rotain here, so for Viking to lose out on that is a bit annoying.
Yeah, the thing is, it's like Alliance's supports, they're very much tied up in their lanes, and now with this ward by Aramis here, they are gonna spot the spawning rune extra. Just push out this wave. Be a little bit careful now, so you overstep and die here. Pick that up, get double bounty rune, farm some jungle. Wait up the
You can almost die, by the way. This top lane is starting to apply pressure. S4 and Hanskin almost being brought down by this bully of the Enchantress PL. Like, is this what should really be happening in this lane matchup, or should this be a bit more Alliance favored?
No, I don't think that you can. PL should always be able to dodge the blood rights much, and Enchantress just got. Enchantress is very. Tusk went for this boot. Doesn't have all that much to fight with. Yeah, it's not an easy lane. PL is a quite strong hero. To have these AoE type things to do. I think PL should.
I guess my thought was like these two, maybe the move is just try and kill Celery each time, or is it just too frustrating even for a Tusk to try and stick on top of the end?
I mean, the thing is, if you're gonna commit too much to this end, chances are you might just find yourself in an awkward position where you end up trading your life for Enchantresses, and that's gonna always be very favorable. You have to be careful.
There you go. It comes to trade. This one is pretty easy though, seeing as Celery more or less walk towards it.
Yeah, they both got the boots now. And
Opie barely managed to get out in time. His HP was pretty low. He was able to TP to a tower though. Come. Now with the haste rune, the 100-foot. Oh, the LSA! Limp! He mistimed the dodge. Gonna be an easy pick for the Storm Spirit.
Tower is under attack.
yeah, I feel like that's kind of the thing that you really careful with. Has to have a pretty good time here.
Yeah, he's the one that can counter out the heroes, right? Like he can. A lot of these heroes kind of look for their freedom in the fight, the Storm Spirit and the PL, and that Dream Call could be crucial. You mentioned like an Axe getting one click in this game could be a big deal.
Under attack.
He's at least still CSing well, but we are going to see the one who rotates is going to be Boom. Level 6, smoked up with the Alpha Wolf pack leaders are moving towards this top. Going towards S4, drag him in. Hanskin's got the snowball to buy some time. Can they get away in time, though, is a real question. It looks like that's a no. They just run him down, and Hanskin gets away just in time before they pressure him hard, whereas Boom is out of mana.
I think this is nice. I feel like this rotation could potentially just have been bottom, and that would have been easier. It's kind of nice for you to rotate at this point, because you know the puck doesn't have a... Can't really come and help anyone. I mean, it's kind of nice for the Storm to get a little bit active, you see. You get some gold kill, but it's also the fact that this block kind of vulnerable. That, you know, he's just about to hit level 5 of this catapult. He'll already be
Radiant's top
on his way to
tower
his
is
treads,
under
and
attack.
once he gets to this 7 with treads, he's just gonna go into the jungle, push up the lane, and just keep farming. This very quickly going to become an issue if left unchecked.
Yeah, and it feels like he can just be left on his own, and as a result, we're just seeing the way that Viking supports, they kind of start to gravitate towards this mid area. I don't know if you're noticing this the last few minutes. Like, if you compare the two sides, it's usually Aramis and Celery that are lurking around that mid, just in case an opportunity presents itself, while, like you mentioned, the Venge is going to be start bot, but you'd hope that maybe Hanskin could say. Drag it.
Really like what Boom is doing right now. So great for them. gave the mid lane to Aramis. Rotation top, he just sitting here for a while.
Well, she's going to sit on the same spot for a little while longer. Lim, he threw out the Dream Coil. Not sure if he thought he had more damage, but they definitely have damage on the side of Vikings. They drag Hanskin in, Snowball, dodge out the Stomp. Moving in, Sans comes out, Loser back, they'll snipe out one, and Aramis will be brought low. LSA will be thrown out, but dodge this time. Lim times it perfectly to ensure he will still get the double kill. Boom now out of mana, they might just pursue this with a rotation out from Nikobaby. It looks like they might point more. FNG is going to die first, but Lim, he's the true victor here as he picks up 3 kills. Forces the rotation of Toby as well, who wants to fight. They are bringing Celery back in, but the damage to Toby is too high. He's going to fall. Hanskin will die for this, but a worthwhile trade for Alliance, and it's still going on. Nikobaby now chased onto by Shad. Everybody getting involved in the brawl in the mid lane. Yeah, Shad, he needs to be careful. He might throw away that lead otherwise. He's able to back up and away.
Dire's top tower is
One
under
crit.
attack.
So they get for it in time.
Yeah, and you know, a very favorable trade there for had the numbers. The fact that Nikobaby not a lot.
Yeah, it kind of looked like everyone was staring in the middle lane going, hey, that looks like fun. I want to join in. I think S4 was like the only one lurking up here, happy to just get a little bit of space to be able to finally get up to level 6, almost level 7 now.
Radiant's bottom
Gonna
tower
go for this
is
armlet.
under attack.
Might just be
Dire's
the
top tower
bags,
is
could be a
under
blink.
attack.
And there's gonna be a diffuser. Yo, I mean, he definitely is going to need the meta, but just Fusel this game is gonna be very, very strong. And also, he was very fortunate to find this formant.
Radiant's bottom tower
Obviously,
is
strengthens
under
his loot
attack.
quite a bit, so
Dire
it only really
are
has to
scanning.
worry about the Blood Right and Puck spells.
Yeah, I think sometimes I've been seeing PLs kind of stop off for a Glimmer Cape nearly phases, but in this game, the only real magical damage is out of the park.
Dire's
So
middle
I guess
tower is under
if he's looking at
attack.
a defense round like a Hood or
Radiant
a
structures
Glimmer Cape,
are
it doesn't look like that high of a value item.
Dire's structures are
No, I mean, of course it can be nice to have, but the Manta and the when you get this level 15 timing with the health talent, and so that's gonna be so incredibly strong. There's gonna be a coil here on
Radiant's bottom tower
Shad.
is falling.
It's gonna go down. Just get the tower and it's occupation from 3 heroes, so in the end they're not gonna give up all that much gold, but sad for you of course to die because it's farming for a bit.
Yeah, and the Drow's involved in that, so she gets a bit more gold. And because of the way they rotated in, you saw they couldn't push mid, so Viking have to back up there. They're not really getting any value elsewhere on the map.
I'm gonna find
They might
Toby
lose
here.
more. They walk in. Toby will be stunned up, down to half HP already. He's trying to run this one off. Aramis is there, stun.
Gonna have to
FNG,
go.
Laguna down, is going to fall low. A few more hits to actually finish him off, but Limp is a little bit scary. Lose your will scare away Aramis. The stun follow-up is good and will allow FNG to retreat. Meanwhile, on the bot lane, Nikobaby is going to be forced out. His shot does a lot of damage. Still gets some fun.
Very nice juke there. Kind of hide behind that tower.
Dire's bottom
As,
tower is under attack.
Yeah, no cool jukes from past 5 on Viking. And as a result, they should be losing this tier 1 tower shortly. I don't know if they can really mount a defense. I mean, your PL, he isn't ready to commit to the big bad fights right
Dire's
now. We
middle
saw how
tower
much damage
has been
Alliance have at
denied.
this stage.
Yeah, Aramis gets the
Very
got a lot of gold.
No, it's a case of if they're going to get active, and they are. Regen rune on Limp, get him up to full with this smoke. They'll move towards bot, but Shad has to suspect something's wrong here. They already call him once down here, and he falls back, so it looks like they won't be able to get him a second time.
Yeah, I wouldn't really mind seeing him back to this triangle area, farm this out. Can a little bit spooked.
But he's got reinforcements now. Viking, they've smoked up themselves, and they know where the Bloodseeker is.
Trouble here.
Forehead, S4 dead. Trying to chase in right now. They need to drag him back, but they're a little bit too slow. And Boom needs to get out now. He gets hit by the Rupture on the way out, though. With a TP out, no way they can stop him. Snowball across onto Aramis. He's going to be the one to receive the punishment that was due Boom's way. Punch him up in the air, and when he comes down, the damage is too much. He's pulled down. Celery as
Really
well.
might down here too.
Yep.
I'm gonna
Green
commit
call.
to Coil.
Kind kind of like this though. Like Limp is not hesitant. Yeah, sure, this Dream Coil's great against the Storm, but he realizes any kill is worthwhile.
No, for sure. I hate seeing the kind of hit it. Just use your spells early on in a game, especially like this, where it's such a quick-paced game. You just want to get these kills if possible. More gold. Just sure you're punishing the enemy uncomfortable making. Yeah, I mean, Alliance they're finding some sort of footing. Gonna be interesting to see. Up the Atos. It's obviously gonna be good. While at least sort of another means of. It is very single target focused.
And I guess the other kind of worry here is like, depending on our S4 build, like who's going to be your front line as the game goes on. I thought maybe we see a S4 go towards the full utility, like, the cookie cutter off lane, so they have something that can be that wall for the Drow, I guess.
He could still go for something. But I think the Alliance draft plays off of not as much having, frontliners, but rather just being very forward. Just yeah, exactly. Just being the aggressor. Kind of forfeiting your defense by just being...
Interesting.
That's true. Because actually, I guess an interesting thing when you look at...
I'm gonna coil an illusion up here.
Ooh, oh.
Dire's top tower
we'll still praise him. He,
scanning.
for the most, using Dream Coil whenever he sees a target has worked out well. This time it was no dice.
No, I don't really disagree. Maybe you should have kind of a bait, but I think it's better to see it this way, rather than just having this puck who doesn't coil at all until you get form or something, Sign that you're just at least playing the game.
Yeah.
Gonna find this ward up. And Toby, he's queue up the Echo Saber here.
Okay, yeah, so we might see the Silver Edge, like at least later on. And he does like doing it, and there are a lot of good targets for it, right? You're just getting stunned straight away, but he's going to be the one stunned, silenced as well. Careful here. Reinforcements coming in. LSA, stun control is good. FNG to swap out, try and save the day. Laguna on FNG is not going to do enough damage. And Boop does get trapped in and punished. They'll hunt forward. Diffusal's online for Shaz. They need to be careful about standing next to this PL. Limp losing a lot of HP, able to move away. And it looks like CK's able to get out as well. Toby with the arm that toggles keeps himself alive. FNG being hunted down. Doppelganger to dodge out. LSA got to be a whiff. It's off the mark. And Shad is going to fall. The damage from the Blood Riot is too high. Alliance now pivoting forward. Looking for more. And S4, he knows exactly where Toby is. He's been trying to lifesteal up at this camp the entire time. Sidestep the LSA, chase in onto Aramis. He's going to fall alongside the tower, and only Toby gets to walk away.
Dire's top tower is
the rotation there by like all of the Alliance. I like the fact that they're just as a unit, all their numbers. Take these early engagements, not to give up. Yo, him strong. They managed to find the peel in that fight. They get the Storm.
Tower has fallen.
They kept all their heroes alive except for that. FNG, he manages to find the right peel even in the fight.
I think do you think he actually caught Aramis off guard there? Because the Laguna, I mean, he got thrown out onto the Venge when, it would have been enough to maybe kill Limp. I mean, I'm going to assume that was just like FNG being so quick that Aramis had already clicked the target with the swap.
Yeah, potentially. Also now that they realize
Dire's top tower,
so it's not going to be that easy to jump him. Yeah, I mean, Olympus is on his way now to this Blink Dagger, and he's having a really good... I kind of expect him to go Ags after the Blink. And Alliance have... yeah, I mean, they've got some... They're starting to get some tools here. At least until Peel becomes... The peel that haunts you. When we see that peel, I think it's start fight them, but still quite a bit away.
Like when the clones start coming out, like Rabbits and he's 2 free HP, that's when you worry. But that's kind of the interesting thing about the way Alliance are playing this, right? Like you're up against CK and PL, and if you burst those heroes even down to half HP before they can respond, that they don't recover well, right? Like these illusion-based heroes do not recover if they're the ones being initiated on.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
No, and that's exactly why, you know, one Alliance is where he's gonna go back for this. And he did go for the armor talent. He's got the broom handle. He is sitting at the armor. Crimson, obviously.
Dragon, Aramis, our position is going to be brought down. That's cost FNG's life. The Dream Call is good. However, this is Ring keeps Boom healthy. Snowball pursuing through. Yule's going to come out so they can catch up to him. They need to turn around for an easy target. I don't know if Toby is the easiest though. Still a lot of HP on this CK, but the sun's coming out. He has no response but to die. 2 for 1 and 4 for 4. They want to make it a 3 for 1. They'll find if the Atos Accelerate is going to fall as well. So an Aegis and 3, and all it costs you is FNG.
Yeah, very nice fight there. I really like what SV going in. You know, he's just going for it. Opportunity, he's taking it. Feels like a lot of the Alliance members are kind of in this mentality right now. I feel like it's a very good sign for them.
Dire's middle
You know,
tower
there's
is
not
under
too much
attack.
hesitation. It's always a good sign. Viking are sort of on the back foot here. Now, these drafts are in this, you know, the way the game has to be for Alliance. They have to be ahead at this point. If they right now in terms of gold, they're gonna be looking at the game. They would be quite far behind, but they're ahead here. They need to kind of ramp up the pace and take out these towers. Make sure you keep them, keep Viking controlled and in pick so that happen. Make sure.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Yeah, because I think it'd be fair to say that Alliance, you know, they bought stocks in early mid, while Viking, yeah, it's a CK, it's a Storm, it's a PL, a hyper late game scenario is spooky. But now the Dream Call coming out. There's Yorkin thrown out to the puck though, trying to dish out enough damage to kill him off. But Limp does get the Yules out, and he should be able to dodge and move away. As the LSA is a little bit off the mark. Atos going to be thrown out on the boom. The rupture means that Toby can't move about. He's stuck on the spot. Phantasm dodges out the blood right though. Snowball. But now any return stuns. Hans going to be able to control the fight for a little bit, but now Toby turns around. San's going to come out. Walrus Punch will get rid of Boom though. He's brought down. Toby standing his ground in the meantime against FNG. Needs one more hit. Turns around on the puck instead, who hides in his own little realm as they bring him down. Aramis falls on the other side as well. And once again, Alliance just handling Viking convincingly in these fights.
Yeah, they're playing very well. The fact that Limp incredibly elusive. I think Hanskin is playing very kind of identifying that he just has to be the saves, try to remove some spells if he ever gets stunned just there, and he's every fight he stops the tag team and punch deals so much damage that
I mean, it's just, it kind of feels simpler for Alliance at this point, right? They go in, and it's not going to undermine what they're doing because it's impressive, but they just cast their spells, right? Whereas Viking, they need this awkward, kind of elongated fight where they can maybe survive past Alliance's burst. But like we already highlighted, the way they're building, they understand more damage, kill them faster. That's how you win these fights.
I mean, I think what Alliance are doing, what the Viking are doing, they're trying to go for the puck every fight. Got the Yules, got some backup saves. And you see this Tusk every fight. Just, I mean, now there's a Coil, but punch every fight. Just the Storm is having an incredibly difficult time dealing.
I mean, everyone is. You know, they're just finding individual pickoffs. And the thing is, like, you saw this ward go down from Viking in the top area. So, you know, they look like they wanted to set up for something in response, but they get caught off guard like this time and time again. This is getting a little bit out of control for Viking. They need some sort of recovery point. You have to question where that is.
Yeah, it's starting to become very difficult. I feel like they needed to use more smokes earlier on, try to bring the CK and Storm engagements, try to find targets who are not the puck. It's just too difficult to find this puck. Once he has the Yules, you know, it came out slightly before the Orchids. Just a nightmare trying to kill this puck, and I feel like if you start these fights being one man up, almost no matter who the hero you kill is, I think you are going to be quite a favorable for Viking. But now it's starting to get to a point where even if they find these heroes, it might not be able to kill them that fast. Bloodseeker, I'm not sure that they can kill him right now unless you have 5 heroes to... He's got the Crimson, he's got all this armor.
fifth amount of armor stage at the 30 mark,
Dire's
actually.
middle tower
I
is
guess
under attack.
you go, okay, so what is the entry target for Viking? Like, who do you pick off? Because
Dire's
the only
structures
time
are
that they get the
fortified.
option to pick the supports off first is when that's Alliance forcing them out, when we're seeing FNG just kind of charge mindlessly into the enemy line by swapping himself into the
Dire's
deep.
middle tower is under attack.
Then all of a sudden Alliance come out ahead each time.
I think what they need to do, need to kind of be smoked up with the CK
Dire's
illusion.
middle tower has fallen.
Storm. I think they need to find this Tusk. Tusk is making Storm's life incredibly. Storm should. Yeah, I think they need to stop and just manage to find this Tusk at first. Pick a fight, you know, should they be tower and he buys back, you can just back off, but find the Tusk and then kind of take the fight from there. Don't really focus too much on this Bloodseeker. Time. Yeah, you know, try to maybe get the Drow if you can. Of course, now it's going to be very difficult with the BK.
Well, it's not just the Drow's harder to get. Hanskin now, he has this Blink Dagger complete. He's going towards the Shadow Blade next. So you can understand that mobility is key here. Like, whether it's getting in or out of the situation. Celery. I think we're going to be in venison tonight. Nom, 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 nom. I guess the worrying part as well is like Viking, they aren't even really able to successfully split the map, right? They can't just try and chip away at these outer towers and get that extra goal because Alliance are always so quick to respond.
Yeah, and I think one thing this game, personally, I'm not really a huge...
Toby's going to have to do something good here. The Dream Call's thrown out and the Shad is in a bit of trouble. But he is tanky enough. The good shotgun down, but the Snowball saves him from the damage. Limp moves forward on the Shad. Stances are coming out. The PL in a lot of trouble. Is going to fall. Ball lining in. BKB has to come out from Nikobaby to run away. Yours going to be there in the meantime with a boom. Who is able to back up under the tower. S4, the 3-second stun on him, but it's just too tanky. This Bloodseeker won't die. Limp boldly chases deeper. Hanskin moves in, has the control. No mana for the Walrus Punch though. Boom will be hit up by in the end. Brought low. The sun's going to come out though. They're able to punish the puck. Limp dead. Now they'll try and deal with Hanskin. Pretty tanky. Celery hiding with the Glimmer Cape. S4 just pursuing, forcing Aramis up to the high ground. But Toby finds another one as he brings down Hanskin. Now 104. DK, can he get anything else done with this Phantasm? It looks like Alliance are going to get the rest out successfully. But the smoke is going to come out to try and pursue Nikobaby. Freak does detect him. I don't know if you can get him though. I think he's too far gone at this point.
They really desperately fights. I mean, Shad, he's just dying. Engagement. He gets caught by the Coil, and that's pretty much. Imp is gonna have the gold, so
It is
get even more difficult.
I was gonna say it's taking Alliance quite a while though, right? It's not a quick kill as we saw there. So there is maybe an upside for Viking. Like as this game drags out, we're kind of seeing Shad starting to become a bit more pervious to the burst of Alliance.
I think if there's a sort of a status quo, or if Viking can pull it back even just slightly, I think if they get to this Axe on CK, I do think that could be a turning. That item is just incredibly strong, especially with a heal in your team. But I do feel like Toby kind of, I don't know, I'm not sure if he took advantage of his timing this game. I think the armlet is kind of slow this game. I feel like going for something like Drums Blink, or just kind of Drums and trying to be active, Halberd. I think he needed to be a bit more active in this. I feel like he spent a lot of the time farming. It's okay, I think, to some extent, if you're already having a decent game. But I feel like committing to this armlet plus Echo Saber build, it's an investment of, what, 4.5k or so? And you didn't really accomplish all that much.
No, it's usually someone that's kind of praised by Viking, or for Viking when they play, right? Is this whole idea, like the interchangeability of their cores, where if Toby has a good game and he's playing someone like CK, he maybe becomes that +1. But I mean, usually that's off the back of like a good start to the lane. I'd say just like outside of the initial kill at the start of the first 2 waves, Toby didn't necessarily have an outstanding lane. In fact, they prioritized a lot around the mid lane and trying to help Boom out, if anything.
Yeah, one thing that is nice for them now, though, is first of all they did find the enchanted quiver. That's gonna be at least a way to hit this Drow now, the butterfly. Also interesting here, Nikobaby actually went for the 50% gust blind, which is quite strong this game. neither of these heroes are going to go for this TB earlier. Gust is going to be a very nice kind of defensive tool. But yeah, I mean, we are gonna see now the eggs from CK. He's gonna disassemble this Echo Saber here. He's gonna get the over eggs. Yeah, he should have the eggs now.
Yeah, but the Alliance, they got someone a little bit more tactically useful, at least immediately afterwards. They've got second Aegis now in the hands. Nikobaby. I believe that should be Cheese. Yeah, sitting on them. Who has his Ags complete. So he says, any Ags you can build, I can want better. In this game, it's going to be a lot easier for Lynn to find value out of that Ags compared to Toby's.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
gonna
attack.
have got the Ags. I mean, Alliance are there very much ready to just start the siege onto the tier. Try to force Viking to take these fights.
Are fortified. Dire's
And then China Quiver went on Celery in the end, by the way. They decided to use the Eng. I think that's more to do with the other core. Like, the core's not really wanting to give up what they've got. I mean, boom, this Essence Ring has kind of been the difference in some of these fights for him. And of course, PL.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah,
Dire's top tower is under
I understand
attack.
PL wants kind of the Titan Sliver. At the same time, I think he's trying to actually... Surviving is, you know, not really going to help you unless you're actually at the better.
There's the Phantasm.
CK Ags.
Has anyone crashed yet? We're going to find out. No disconnection signs. Looks like we're good for a fight. What is the plan, Toby? Have an army at your disposal. This Crimson Guard is going to make it hard.
Yeah. I feel like there has to be almost...
Good call. We caught free. Boom snaps it. Takes a lot of damage. The Blood Right's going to get him low. He's going to be able to survive, but barely. They move in straight away on top of Toby, bringing him low. Going to be able to kick his head off of his face. Oh, that was Decker, rather, as they bring him down. Shad going to chase forward. S4 is going to fall. They're looking forward on a Nikobaby now. He's out of mana, out of life, and the control's going to limp as well. He went in. No chance to use the cheese. Aegis has been taken away. The Nikobaby in a world of pain here. BKB's up, but he can't even stand and fight. The damage is too much. Shad is going to be brought low. We'll die for this. But they'll be happy with the exchange. The missed chance is doing a lot of work. Is it going to be enough, though? Nikobaby does finally go down, but my God, does he make Viking work for it. Now, Aramis in trouble himself. Celery with the body blocks, trying to save the day. Boom. Buyback, chased in. Looking to turn this around. Hands going to be controlled off from the silence out. The drag is good. They'll bring him low. The sword burst not enough to kill him, though. Boom. Wants to finish this one off, but Hanskin able to blink in the tree line. He will still fall. But the price is definitely high for Viking. I think they'll still be happy for what they paid, though, considering how far behind they were getting in this game. They needed to do something.
Yeah, I think Viking are going to be happy with that. Managed to kill the draw, but I mean, you saw how incredibly difficult it was. I think that was a lot thanks to the fact that FNG bought back. He did this entire run back up there. The Vlads and just all of the aura and Summer of Will, Terror and everything really helped out the Eternal Man fought the PL. I think that's a scenario where I feel like this Enchanted Quiver on the PL would be so incredibly helpful for you. But yeah, I mean, we can see the power already of this Axe, and that's just the... yeah, I mean, he's gonna get even stronger, you know. See, he's got the 14% cooldown reduction. Going to be quite frequent Axe, and Abyssal very... gonna go the way only for Chad now.
Alright, thought it might be finally time to just get out on the map and strike back at Alliance. Because that's the thing, that Phantasm we saw, it was probably the most underwhelming start to a fight, right? Usually use this Phantasm to kind of counterplay some move that your opponent makes, whether it's dodging out a spell or just like, you know, dispelling and resetting. But in that situation, it was just kind of Viking and men, we need numbers. We need to amass a force before the fight starts.
Yeah, and I mean, if we start getting to these items, Toby, I'm assuming it looks like a panic for Shad. I hope he does get an MKB at some point at least. I think Butterfly and the Ghost talent of the draw. But
it's so hard to slot in though, right? Type item you need in this game, like, you know, Shad's going to panic and then to build it. He's more interested in finishing off that silver edge.
Yeah, it is a lot of gold that you know, if they get to the items, it could very well just turn in favor of Viking. There's by Alliance. Bench level 18.
This. No way. Don't think you want to be the first down though. Sounds good. Three course baits it out. They trap in. Boom. He's got his BKB, but the right clicks are just too much, or is it? Phantasm dodges out some of the damage. He needs to move away. Swap back is going to finish him off. Celery is going to be brought down as well. Snowball trying to turn this around. Phantasm is doing a lot of work though. They bring one down. Buyback comes out for Celery. Live down to half HP. Has to hide in his own little world. Hanskin's now going to fall. There's four being turned onto. They're ignoring Nikobaby the entire time. Is this going to backfire though? The illusions are gone. It might. It's backfiring quick. PL's going to fall. Toby's going to be brought down as well. They thought maybe the solution was to kill everyone but Nikobaby because he's so hard to kill in these fights, but they were wrong. And it's going to cost them.
Quite a big mistake there by Boom. He didn't have the buyback, he knew that. Goes in to try to kill this Venge, and he puts himself in a position where it's easy to just coil. Immediately gets coiled by Puck, obviously, and a very nice swap there as he was... I think the coil was just about to run out. He gets swapped by the Venge, and I'm not sure if it snapped the coil, but it kind of repositioned him so he couldn't
middle tower
immediately just roll out. And yeah, off the back of that massive fight win for Alliance. Should be some very, very quick buildings now with these Nikobaby. They're just gonna go for the tier 4s.
They are. They pinged it. He is a fierce right-clicking Drow here. The Blood Rage, the DD. One of the tier 4s is already down, and Viking. They've only got one other buyback available. And he's up in 2 seconds. I don't think the repair kit's going to be good enough here. They've got the glyph. They still need to buy at least 10 seconds. The other two cores, Toby has to go in, but it's not going to do anything. That's the fantastic news. Buyback's going to come out. Drink calls down on Aramis and Alliance. What a way to run into the enemy base. Nikobaby finally realizes, okay, I can't quite end it here as the DDs ran out. But the price is high for Viking. I mean, now Aramis down back like that. Toby down to buyback like that. You've got plenty of chinks in the armor that Alliance can look to just take advantage of.
Yeah, the throne is exposed. There's no glyph. He is without buyback. The guy is dead without buyback. Alliance have every chance.
Yeah, at this point you just kind of relax. You look at the state of the game, and you're saying, okay, Viking, court's yours. Show us what mistake is waiting to occur. To be honest, Alliance, like, it feels like at this stage, to lose a fight, a decisive fight, they have to make so many errors in a row. They haven't really been showing any signs of that.
They're not even gonna wait for it. They're live here. But they just want to
jump in. BKB, Dream Core down, flying straight away. Boom, just being melted pretty quickly here though. Rupture thrown out, they get rid of the Storm Spirit. Hanskin, so goddamn tacky. Everyone's taking you to the Crimson Guard. Toby's been melted through as well. Shad trying to duke out the damage, but one illusion falls, so another may fall afterwards. That's the way it's going to work out. Nikobaby able to heal up. He's looking pretty good for the most of this, but Shad's doing decent damage. They're finally identifying the right one. Nikobaby trying to hide here on the spot. Shad's going to be brought low. Nikobaby dies, but Shad goes down as well. And with that, Celery from the repair kit. Hopeless enough, but I can assure you, my friend, Alliance, they're not going to stop. They want that throne. They also want your head alongside it. Aramis back up just in time to watch them start to pummel away at the building. It's a question of whether they got the damage, but with the creeps coming in, the catapults as well. I think Alliance, they might have what they need here. Roll out, Aramis forced back.
The repair kit is gonna on now a few seconds here. The Desolator on it.
Yep, that was the last charge as well. Drew called down, Aramis down. Celery kind of ignored, just blood right up so they can hit the thrones. The GG comes out, Alliance. There were questions about, whether they were going to